Hey everyone, I'm here with a 2024 Subaru Crosstrek, and this is a premium trim with the optional package that includes the blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, rear automatic braking, and the sunroof. So I just want to do a quick review on this car, as I had it as a loaner while my 2022 Outback has been in the shop. And I drove this car over 440 miles total over the last 3 days that I've had the car. Had to go somewhere for work, and so took the loaner car with me, drove it all the way back, and so far I would say I'm reasonably impressed with this car. In terms of fuel efficiency, it's been really good. The trip computer has been saying 34.5 over about 90% of highway driving. We'll get to the actual numbers based on the fill up that I did on this car. It's a touch lower than that, but not by much, so I'll give you guys the exact numbers here in just a few minutes. This is in the magnetite gray exterior color. It's very popular, kind of a neutral gray that's similar to Chrysler's granite crystal metallic. A lot of brands have like this gunmetal color with a metal flake metallic paint. So it looks pretty good on this car. It looks like the car is robust. It looks like it's off-roady. Looks like it's got the handling prowess that you would expect from a Subaru with all-wheel drive. And so it's got standard all-wheel drive. This one stickers for almost exactly $31,000. Has like one or two accessories that are part of it that bump up the price to just over $31,000. 2024 model, as I explained before. These are the Yokohama Geolandar G91 tires. They seem to be reasonably quiet, but you can tell that they're not like, the best in terms of road noise. This car overall is pretty quiet for the subcompact SUV segment. It doesn't really feel like an SUV when you drive it, even though it has 8.3 to 8.7 inches of ground clearance. It feels definitely almost like a Impreza that is jacked up, because that's basically what it is. It's an Impreza with about 3.5 more inches of ground clearance. The handling is okay. I would say it's probably on par with this class of car. Overall, I just wouldn't pay more than $31,000 for a car like this. I know that there's the 2.5 liter trim, there's the Sport, there's the Limited, there's the Wilderness. Those all can exceed $34,000 to $35,000. And when you get to that point, you're way better off buying like a Subaru Forester or even a Onyx non-turbo Outback if you can swing it with some deals, and some money off from the dealer. Because overall, this car definitely feels more economy than a Forester, and especially from an Outback, and even a Legacy is going to feel more upscale than this. So I do think that the price is about the most that you would want to pay for it. It definitely feels more like, a few years ago, this would be like a $25,000 car. That's kind of what it feels like. They hold their value extremely well, so that's a plus. The ride is a little bouncy. I know that small cars typically have firmer rides, and I'm starting to understand why after driving this car, because with a short wheelbase, the soft ride can make it feel a little bit unsettled at higher speeds on the highway and doesn't feel as buttoned down as some of the firmer riding vehicles. This is probably the softest riding vehicle in the segment that this car competes in, small to subcompact SUVs. And I wish that the suspension was a little bit firmer, and that's where I think the Sport trim probably makes the front dampers just a hair firmer and helps that a little bit. But again, when you get to the Sport trim, you're paying over $32,000, $33,000, and you have the bigger engine, which gets slightly worse gas mileage, is not that much faster. And at that point, you might as well buy something else that's a little bit nicer if you're already paying that much money. This car is pretty slow. I would say this is a 2.0 liter, 150 horsepower, 152 horsepower, boxer 4-cylinder, normally aspirated engine. I've been driving it mostly in 70 to 80 degree temperatures at sea level or just over sea level, up to maybe 1,200 feet above sea level. So minimal change in terms of power due to air density. And I would say 0 to 60 in this. We'll do a little bit of a test, but 0 to 60 is probably 9.5 seconds on this car, and it feels every bit of 9.5 seconds. You'll get closer to 8.5 seconds if you get the 2.5 liter, but you're just trading slow for a little bit less slow, and it's not worth paying $1,500 to $2,000 more for the bigger engine when the purpose of this car is not to go fast. This car is about comfort, it's about longevity, it's about quality. This is a Japanese built Subaru Crosstrek, so it's made in its home country. Has really good quality, no squeaks, no rattles, no weird shakes or anything like that. So it definitely feels high quality, like it was put together really well. But yeah, let's step around here and see what you get. You get fog lights, you get LED cornering turning headlamps. So that's actually a really big plus. You don't really find that in this segment. You get the latest Subaru EyeSight system, which is actually really good on the highway and performs really well. I would recommend keeping it in standard or dynamic mode for the EyeSight operation. Otherwise, it's really slow to get up and go after a car gets out of your way for the adaptive cruise. I think the wheels actually look pretty good for a Subaru, for a car that's, you know, starts at under $30,000. These wheels can come on the premium trim for just under $30,000 if you don't get that blind spot monitoring and sunroof package. The other thing I will say is the audio system, frankly, kind of sucks. It's only like a 6-speaker audio system with no subwoofer. It's not branded. The volume is really odd. It sometimes just gets loud for no reason, and the sound, like left to right and front to back, seems all messed up, even though all the settings are at nominal at the factory setting in the middle, and it has this weird resonance. And if you turn up the bass, basically up to +4, +10 is, or +9 is the highest you can go on the bass. Turn it up to +4, and you turn up the volume beyond maybe a third of the way up, it starts making this like horrible booming, rattling noise from the back of the car, like the speakers are going to blow out, or like they're paper cones in terms of the speaker quality. They're not going to hold up if you blast music, and it sounds pretty bad. So I'd recommend getting the premium audio, and to get the premium audio in this car, you're looking at paying over $33,000. So again, this car, it's all about economy, it's all about efficiency, it's about value for the money, and I wouldn't pay more than what this car is, frankly, unless you get like a Subaru Forester and Outback is when I would start exceeding $33,000. Cloth seats, they're heated. Heating works really well. No rear seat air vents, which is definitely a con, especially if you have kids or dogs. Like, you don't want them to get hot in the summer. And you know, here in the upper Midwest, it's actually going to be close to 85 degrees tomorrow, late September, which is pretty hot. I think it's gonna be a record high. So you don't want your kids boiling back here. And if you're in the summer, like in Arizona or Texas or something, it's over 100 degrees. I would recommend looking for a car that has rear seat air vents. Seats full flat, has plenty of cargo space, so that's a huge plus. It has this cool like Easter egg mountain thing going on with the rear trunk area, so that way you don't scratch like your paint finish, and they dressed it up a little bit with like the wilderness outdoorsy look. Back here you got plenty of cargo room. As you can tell, I put a bunch of boards back here from the deck on my house that I was ripping up, and gonna go bring this over to a family member's house to burn some of this wood up, not in my residential area. So overall, it's got plenty of room, no power liftgate, which is kind of what you expect for about this price. But yeah, let's step inside and take a look at our gas mileage that we're getting. Nice solid door thunk, so that's a plus. When we start up here, we don't get a digital cluster, which is normal. This car again is 31 grand. As you can tell, I'm getting about 34.5 miles per gallon, and the trip odometer here says 428.3 miles. But I reset this trip computer about 20 miles after I started driving it on a full tank. So if I do 448 miles and divide that by the amount of gas I put in, which is 13.06 gallons, I get an EPA average of about 34.3 miles per gallon. So that means it overestimated only by 0.2 miles per gallon. Still getting great fuel economy. And for a non-hybrid, you can't really expect much better MPG than that for an all-wheel drive vehicle. So 34.3 miles per gallon on the highway, you'll be looking at closer to about somewhere between 27 and 29 miles per gallon if you do more city driving. Again, that's about the best you can expect for an all-wheel drive vehicle that's not teeny tiny and that's not a hybrid. So, and as you can see, on 16.6 gallons, that's the size of the gas tank, you can expect somewhere around 500 miles of range on the highway. So it says we got 510 miles remaining after I just filled it up. That's fantastic. AC is super ice cold. Technology actually works pretty well. I think this system here for 2024 has got some good software updates that have made it a little bit more responsive. Wireless Apple CarPlay, that works well if you got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi enabled on your mobile device. and you can plug it in at the same time to charge it, so that way you can run Apple CarPlay and Android Auto while you're charging the phone, so that's a big plus. Not much else to say here in terms of this car, guys. Overall, I think I'm satisfied with it, but I would recommend, if you're going to pay $31,000 plus on a vehicle, that you would look at something like the next class up in terms of the competition and in terms of cars in Subaru's lineup. So I'd look at a Forester or an Outback, as those seem to give you a lot more car for the money, and you just got to pay maybe $3,000 to $4,000 more to get a much better vehicle, and I think that's worth it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video today. This is my quick review on the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Premium with the 2.0 liter engine and all-wheel drive. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the section below. Thanks for watching.